Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your boy Andre, and we have another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about my PC, my rig, my passion. Now, going forward after this PC talk, I'm going to be introducing you guys to my son's PC and my daughter's PC. Those two other PCs I've built myself, so it will be good for me to talk about those computers with you guys, as well as get used to talking to you guys in front of the camera about PCs. This is my first time talking about specs on a PC and how it's performing. So let's just get right into it. Now, this PC behind me is rocking the Ryzen 5950X. Really good processor, have had no issues. The motherboard is a Gigabyte X570 Aurorus. I don't know how you guys pronounced it, but I pronounce it as Aurorus. 64 gigs of RAM by Corsair. I also have, in terms of storage, I have about 1, 2, 3 SSDs, 1 terabyte each. Inside the motherboard has about 1, 2, and 3 M.2s. One is 1 terabyte, the two others is 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and a 4 terabyte inside the motherboard, and all by Samsung. Now, the only reason I go with Samsung with most of my builds is because of that Samsung companion application, which is Samsung Magician. I like the way the interface is and how clean it looks. And my only gripe, I'm gonna talk about right now real quick, only gripe with it doesn't migrate any drive to any drive, meaning it has to be a C drive to a, so it will only copy the operating system. You cannot select let's just say a drive that holds all your files into another drive. It only migrates the C drive, which is the operating drive, to make another operating drive. That's my only gripe with it. But other than that, it's a good application. That's why I stick with Samsung. Plus, I'm a Samsung, I won't say fanboy, that's just too much. With the case that's behind me, it is the Cooler Master Cosmos 700M, all right? Before I forget, what's cooling that processor behind me is the Kraken Z73. I had that cooler for a while now. Maybe it has to be at least 3 years or so. 3 years now, 4 years. Gotta be 4 years and still going strong, I believe. Every once in a while I do see temp spike. It's a 5950X and I know how hot it can run. That being said, I always do keep an eye on thermals when it comes to the processor. Just lately I ran a benchmark for 30 minutes and it was stable. It didn't crash. I believe it was around 69 degrees Celsius. It didn't go any higher than that. It stuck at 69, no, it's 69 and 70. And it stayed between those two numbers, 69 and 70. It didn't get any harder than that. What else is in this PC? So I remember the storage, the processor, the RAM. The PSU is 1,000 watt with by Corsair. Now for the GPU, the GPU that's in this system, as you guys can't tell, it is by Rogue Asus. Is the 4070. Now, prior, I didn't have the 4070 in here. This is just by chance that the 4070 went in this rig. Now, there are some pros and cons to having this 4070 in my system. Trust me, I know. But in the case usage on my PC, I don't game a lot. So because I don't game a lot, I feel as though but then again, I had no choice to put it in here. And the reason being because prior I had the 3090 in here, guys. 3090 work fabulous. All game settings and max, no issues. It's not until recently, this year, that I started playing games again just a little bit. I was out of school for a little bit, I had a little time on my hands, so I said, let me just play the Tomb Raider game. I will leave some links down below and some shorts on that situation while playing that game. So while playing that game, the Tomb Raider, I think it's Tomb Raider Rising, my GPU was overheating. It sounded like a jet engine. So I knew at that point, I can't keep it in the system. Something was way off. It was an oversight in my part, because prior, I did notice that the fans would just spin regularly. And I took it as maybe as an update that the fans are just spinning constantly. So as I was playing the game, it would hit, I released, it hit 78, then it hit 80, and I think 86, and the fan would just kick on. It sounded like a jet, just woo, and then until it gets down to, I think, about 76, and then it just slows down. I did purchase the 4070, but it wasn't for this PC at all. I just had it sitting. Point I realized, okay, this GPU cannot sit in the system. I have to take it out, do some research. I bought thermal pads. I already have thermal paste on hand, but I had to buy thermal pads, take it apart, and get started on. Now at this moment, that as I'm recording this video, that GPU is still in pieces. I haven't got a chance to get around to it. Now I did buy thermal pads, but I didn't buy enough. So I'm gonna have to purchase some more later on, okay guys? So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put some clips of it as I'm talking about the GPU of the 3090. Now, honestly guys, I do prefer the 3090 in this system over the 4070. Now, it doesn't bother me too much because, again, I don't play a lot of games. Lately, I've been playing the Grand Theft Auto game, and lately it's been Red Dead Redemption, and I just picked up back on the Cyberpunk. I will show some numbers on that game too on this video, so look out for that later on in the video. But other than that, the PC has been running good. Now, this PC didn't start out like this, minus the GPU. So as you can imagine, as I built this PC, my first motherboard was the Rogue X570. I think it was X570 Crosshair Dark Hero. That was the first motherboard in the system. But when I first got that motherboard at Micro Center, I got it refurbished. Okay, now that refurbished motherboard has some issues. What I mean by issues is, for example, if I was to, now picture this, the motherboard's mounted, everything's mounted correctly, everything's mounted properly. The only main issue I had with that motherboard is that I had to flip the switch off, plug it out, plug it back in, flip the switch on, and hit the power button. I wasn't able to power on the system just by the push of a button. And I went through that whole process, plug in, plug out, for about maybe almost a year. Because at that time, I didn't feel like, the laziness, it's a lazy part about me. I didn't feel like calling ASUS for another motherboard. And I believe the reason I hesitated because these guys, ASUS and them, like to send you another refurbished motherboard. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. Even if you tell them, listen, I want a new motherboard, they're going to send you a refurbished motherboard, right? So that's why I hesitated in terms of updating the motherboard. So after a year or so, I finally called ASUS and get another motherboard. The motherboard came in a white box. So I transitioned over to Gigabyte. So that's the motherboard that's in here now. Now, this case, I never started out with this case. You won't believe what case I started out with the first time. So my first ever case as a first builder in the PC space, I went with the Kruger Conquer 2 as my first PC build ever for myself and for the channel. I figured at the time, if I'm gonna start building PCs, why not go big at it and just go for a case that I really like. Now, granted, this PC case was an open concept case. I knew what I was getting myself into in terms of getting an open concept case. If I have some photos, in fact, I have a video of me cleaning out the PC case. I will link that down below in case you guys want to see that. I did enjoy the Conquer 2. It just looked badass. I mean, it looked good. In fact, when I finally finished the build, my wife actually took a picture of it and on her phone. She took a picture of it on her phone, but she liked the PC. She took a picture of it. I was surprised that she took a picture of the PC. But yeah, I'm gonna show some clips of the Conquer. But right now, I still have that case, but that case is actually right here next to me. I'm gonna show you some video footage of it. It's covered with its own sheet, and it's just sitting there. Now, I have thought about selling it. I don't really need it, but my son's asking for it. But I'm like, I'd rather give him something different than that PC case. It's a good case, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice concept case, but it's just the fact that it could be better in terms of wiring, but it's a good case. If you don't know what you're doing, I would say that case is about maybe a 5 out of 10 difficulty, if anything. Now, later down the road, I decided, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of an open concept case. What's the next best case I could get myself into? And it's a closed concept. And I found myself looking at this Cosmos 700M. I mean, I fell in love with it right away. I mean, you could do anything with it. You could change it around. You could put the GPU upright. So, but with this PC, at this moment, I have it as a tilt, the GPU. Some don't understand about the tilt of the GPU, but because I have, so for this build, I don't have much worries in terms of cooling. Reason why, because I have 140s in the front. Because I have 140s in the front, I'm able to blow enough cool air into the system. Now, my laboratory is in the basement where it's mostly cool. So all that cool air is just blowing into the blowing into the case. A lot of cool air. So all that cool air is going to this case, moving all that hot air that's coming from the back of the GPU out and up the out the case. So it works out. I don't have any temp issues. When I first, and I have to admit, when I first rebuilt the system into this case, I felt as though temps was really warm, and that's with the 3090. I'm not too sure what happened, but it didn't like its environment. And you could tell, you just tell it didn't like its environment, because I don't know, guys, I may be talking shit, I don't know, but I don't have footage of this, but I'm just telling you what I seen and what I noticed, right? I'm gonna tell you what I noticed and what I seen, right? So when I first built into this PC, coming from an open case and everything is closed off, temperatures to me seem a little high, and that's when I had the 3090. Now that could be the problem, because the 3090 had overheating issues. Now thinking about it now, CPU temperature was okay, but could have been better. I just felt as though it just didn't like its environment. But after a while, doing a little tinkering here and there, in terms of the fan curves and everything, I finally got a sweet spot where a large amount of air is coming through the front and cooling down the GPU and cooling down the CPU. GPU temperatures sits about 40 in the 30s. CPU temperatures, give and take. Now, because the CPU runs a little warm, it gives and takes between 40 and 50. That's where it's at. But overall, it's a really good PC, guys. I built this rig out of necessity. When I first, now this is one channel, right guys, of PC and tech. I actually have a other channel that deals with food, because I like to cook. In case you guys don't know, I have a cooking channel outside of this. And I used to use my phone to edit, right? And I had an all-in-one PC to edit my videos. Now my all-in-one PC couldn't handle Premiere. It couldn't handle any editing applications. The only device I had at the time that was able to handle editing was my Samsung Note 9. That did all my editing. So if you watch back on my videos, you'll see all those videos that you see way back when the channel first started. All that was edited through my Samsung Note 9. I took this editing so serious of that channel and food, I needed a PC. So God bless her heart, my wife literally bought me all-in-one PC. She got me a i9 all-in-one PC by Intel, an i9 Intel all-in-one PC, and it worked great. It worked wonderful. I could edit, I could do everything. But PC me, I knew I had to build a PC. I had to build one. I had to build a beast of a PC. And little by little, I was working hard, working extra hours just to get the components that's needed to build my PC. Now, my first PC before the Dark Hero ever happened, it was actually the X570 Strix. So it was the X570 Strix with the 3090, right? With the Ryzen 9 5950X, 64 gigs of RAM, and I think I had about about 4 hard drives in the system. And that was through the Kruger Conquer. And I was able to edit like a beast. Boom, 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 knocking them out. So because I'm telling you this rig is mostly built around editing and workstation concept, like homework. I'm in college, do homework. In case you guys are wondering, I'm in college for IT. So right now is good. I think right now and going forward into the future, IT is where it's at. I'm going to tell you guys that now. Is where it is. You have all the way from people going to space, people having automated driving cars to robots and so forth, guys. IT is where it's at. If you guys are committed into technology, that's where it's at right now. But anyway, so that being said, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. I'm going to show you guys how it performs. I'm going to tap into my GPU in terms of screen recording so you guys can see for yourselves how well this system can perform if I do decide to play games, right? Editing this video that I'm doing right now will be edited on this system, but overall, guys, this system has been pretty good, with some mistakes on my side along the way. Again, I'm gonna keep this real with you guys. I am learning as I'm going on in terms of the BIOS, DOS, Linux, all that type of stuff. I'm still learning as I'm going on. But what I feel I have down pack is building the PC. I got that down pack. You give me a few components, I could build a PC. The wire management, not so well. I can't get the wire management down properly, but as long as the wires are connected, I'm able to get the system up and running. But other than that, in terms of audio, the system behind me is walking the clips, 2 speakers from left and right, and a subwoofer. I think it's a 15-inch subwoofer with some bookshelves behind the monitors. I don't know who else does it, but I put my speakers behind the monitors. I do have the ability to raise them, buy something else and raise them above the monitors, but I like to hide them behind the monitors so that way, you know, I don't have to see them. I don't know. Bookshelf and a 15-inch subwoofer in the bottom. Really good bass, guys. And a Fosse, I'm gonna say a Fosse amplifier. Has the equalizers of the treble, the bass, power, volume, everything underneath the monitors. Works really well. Chef kiss. In terms of monitors, G7 in front, the G7. I can't recall the other monitors, but I will put it in the description down below, or I'll just add it to the overlay on the video so you guys can check out what monitors I'm rocking. I have the GPU is powering 3 monitors at the same time. That works really well. Get right into a little bit of benchmarks so you guys can see for yourself what happens when you have a 4070 with the X5 or the X5950X. Let's go. Okay, so I figured before I go more into the gameplay and benchmarks, I'll give you guys more of a closer look into the system. Okay, so as you can see, is the front panel with the curved edge. It's pretty cool. Open it up, and here we have it. Now, there are some few things I took out and made a little bit of changes, some adjustments. Let's let's talk about the GPU real quick in terms of the GPU mounting tilt bracket. All right, so let's go more closely into that. So now we're looking at the GPU. It is at a tilt. Thanks to this bracket right here, it's able to move forward and move back. Right. Now I have a 3 monitor setup. Wires are HDMI cables and display ports are pretty much simple. As you can see over here at the corner. So you can see I have it coming out from the grommet outside the case, giving like almost like a 90-degree bend to the GPU. So I have 2 HDMI ports. No, I think I have 2 HDMI and 1 display port. I do have a Samsung, I believe the G8 monitor. Well, I have one wire that's running at 16 megabytes per second for that monitor to support the 240 hertz. Everything else is basically regular monitors. Behind here, I did update the cable. So for the riser cable, I went with a higher bandwidth. For a riser cable, I went with the Cooler Master riser cable PCIe 4.0 times 16, giving the GPU its full bandwidth I want to do in terms of gameplay or editing. Let me show you the box real quick in case you guys are wondering how that looks. So that's how it looks, guys. That's the type of cable I have. Now behind, so you know, because of the tilt, I have to bend the wires kind of. Well, it's a good thing the wires are individually, so it gives me the ability to flex the wires in a way where it's able to just flex without any tensions to the wire and catch it underneath here and then clip the GPU. In terms of wire, I am using a Corsair adapter wire that's connecting to a, I guess you would say, a last generation of the PSU. It's not the newest generation where it comes already built in the 3.0 connect 600 watt connector. And I kept it black. Now I do have the ability to upgrade it to the Liam Lee trimmer, but I figured that would be kind of a waste of effects because the way the tilt is, that will just be high. That would be just defeating the purpose of showing off the LEDs. I just went away with that and just kept it with the black stealth looking. At times when you look at the case from the outside, you don't even see the wire there. It looks almost invisible. So that's basically it for the GPU tilt bracket, and I love it pretty good. Now for the front of the case, I do have 3 140 millimeter fans by Liam Lee. Very nice. I love these type of style. Nothing too abrasive. No, I didn't go with the mirror reflectors. I kept it simple with the LED lights on the sides, inside the bearings of the fan, and I think it's pretty sleek. I'm gonna show you. I'll just log into Liam L Connect 3 to tell you guys the fan speed, what it's running at now. So for the 140 millimeters is running at a standard speed right now. Again, the GPU at this very moment of recording is at a 38 Celsius, which is pretty cool. The top is about 120 millimeters. I'm gonna show you that right now. But for the 140s, is running at a pretty cool place. GPU's at a chill at 38 Celsius. So that's how much cool air is blowing towards the GPU. That's a lot of cool air. Just moving all the hot air from the back of the GPU and then out the top. The 140s blow a lot of cool air. Now I'm in the basement, guys, so I have tons of cool air. So because now, say for example, I'm running a long session of gameplay and the start starts wheeling and all that heat delivers to the back, all this cool air is moving all that hot air up back towards the case and out from the back. And so far it's been pretty good. Haven't had any issues. Now again guys, prior to this GPU, I did have the 3090. Worked wonderful, but right now it's down for the count. It's going through surgery for new thermal pads and thermal paste. So more on that later on. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the AIO. Kraken Z73 works really well. How I have it, especially in terms of the wiring, the cables, or the tubings. I'm actually proud of this. I have it so close where it's not touching the fan. It's just right. And it kind of sitting on top of the GPU right there. And it's pretty cool. I found this little graphic online. Remind me of a Cosmos, hence the PC case, right? So that's pretty cool, I thought. Let's see, let's zoom out. So with the AIO, it is connecting same type of Liam Lee fans, but 120s on the top. I did keep a strimmer on for the 24 pin. You know, again, I want to see what I'm paying for, so this makes sense to keep it inside the case. Now, sometimes when I do talk about my PC, I do tend to forget other storage drives. So as I already talked about the 3 here, but underneath here is actually a 6 terabyte hard drive by Western Digital. Underneath the desk is actually a 10 terabyte. It's basically for rendering videos when I'm editing. Oh, one thing I want to talk about too is the temperature probe. I actually use a temperature probe that comes inside the box of a motherboard. Let me show you that in more detail. All right, so I do have the temperature probe connected to the motherboard and wired through the back and up top of the case. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm about to put my hand in there. So this is the temperature probe right there. Let me see if I get a little better view of it. Make sure I don't hit the fan. There it is. So this is the temperature probe right here. Oh, get back over here. There's a temperature probe right here, guys, and this is what I use to give me a more of an insight of temperature inside the case. This is what I use. Let me stick it up on top right there. So what I do, I tend to keep it up on top so that way whatever, again, this is a closed concept case. So I like to use temperature probes to give me more of an insight of how hot the case is. Like, especially during the summer times, the basement kind of gets sometimes humid a little bit, or it gets kind of warm down here, but not too warm. But I just like to have an idea on what the case is feeling like when everything's running at max. That's cool. All right, so I do have it pointed towards the top. So again, heat does rise. Everybody knows that. So that's why I keep it there. And that's routing from the motherboard, which is actually connected right here at the corner. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right there. I'll probably circle it in editing, but it's right there, running through the back, going through the side, and facing the top of the case. What else? That's basically it. And for the exhaust, actually a 140. So a lot of air is actually moving through this case efficiently. I think so. If you guys have any concerns, questions, please leave comments down below. This is everything in a nutshell, guys. The case really came with filters. As a filter at the bottom, there's also a filter in the front of the case. But guys, I like this case so much, especially after moving away from the Kruger Conquer. I don't have to worry about that much dust. This right here is actually a drive, but it's not being in use. It's just sitting up there. I just figure I'd put that there because, hey, why not, right? But that's basically everything in a nutshell, guys. So any questions, let me know down below, and let's continue with the video. So these are my scores, guys. Go back to benchmarks. Let's try the. I don't have the raceway. So these are my scores, guys. Again, tell me what you guys think. All right, so we're gonna dive real deep into this real quick, guys. So come along with the ride. Okay, let's go to settings and you go to graphics. So this is what I have on currently. DLSS at super resolution. I'll keep it here. Ultra performance. What's the next one? Auto. Ultra performance. I got everything mostly at max, guys. As you can see, high. Everything is on a high. Ultra, psycho. Everything is at its max. So let's get a little bit of gameplay. Guys can see that, you know, it is at a high 106. Yes. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about the riser. Now, for a while, for the riser cable, I believe it was the riser cable was a Gen 4, but it wasn't. Actually, it wasn't optimized for 16 by 16. So for example, if I was to show you later on, the old one game I had, it was only maxed out to 8, half the speeds of GPU at the PCIe. So since I've changed the PCIe cable, I did notice an uptick in performance. So let's try and find a high popular area and see what's up. Now, I think the reason I don't play this game as much is just because it's the first person view. I don't know, guys. At first, it never used to bother me. First person view mode. The first person view mode for me is like a turn off, but you can tell there's some sort of. If you look closer, you got some waves. When these guys move, and I think that's because of the settings. You know, you can tell. So I feel like I have everything maxed out. And this may bother some people. To me, it does bother me a little bit. So let's see what kind of change I can do to fix this. So I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with this. Alright, let's turn that off. Or maybe it's motion blur. There is motion blur. Let's see if it has to do with motion blur. Motion blurs are high. So let's try. Let's do off. See what happens. Come on. Oh, this is annoying. Come on now. Ugh. Apply. tell that the game is gonna process movements. It's like leaving like little trails when they move. So let me see if I can adjust that somehow. So you got ultra performance, auto. Let's try that off. Let's see what happens. This is annoying. Do you shoot with me? Confirm. I think it looks better, no? Vehicle. It looks better. A little better. You can still see some of the trails. If you look close across the street, you can see it. So let's see what I'm doing wrong. Now again, this could be due to the 4070, right? So I'm not. Let's turn off ray tracing. Let's turn this off, and then let's turn this back on. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn that off and find a sweet spot. So there you go.
Blind?
My name is Dakota Smith. If you're looking for jobs out here, you will find them with me.
Name's V. Thanks for the intel.
Things flow differently out here. Keep your head on, city kid.
What now? What are you, fine? Get out here! Come on, move it! Oh, that clusterfuck! About time we had some fun! Hang on!
Thanks, stranger. That was a close one.
Santo Domingo.
521 reporting. Sorry, dispatch. Had to take a leak. I'm on my way.
And now,
Save me!
Code 0. I repeat, Code 0 in this area. All units resume normal duties.
If you guys like what y'all see, please leave a comment down below. If you guys have any questions, concerns about this PC, please let me know. Now again, I will be doing a 3-part series of this segment. This one being that my PC, that my daughters and my sons. Those two are coming up. I really want to tackle my daughter's PC because she is actually rocking the Intel Arc since I want to say a little after it came out, and it's still in her system. So if you guys want to know more about that, please subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you guys think about the upcoming videos coming up, or what you guys want to know, what you guys want to see, and what you guys want to know, especially about this PC behind me. All right guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, peace.